Well, howdy do, buckaroos. This is Tommy Brewer, and I'm about to walk into 417 Tap House for the first time. Well, howdy do, buckaroos. This is my first trip to the 417 Tap House. It's an interesting concept. They've got some different beers here. Some you get behind the counter. Some they have a pour yourself tap, which is what I'm doing now. I've kind of sat myself down at the Civil Life table. They have two from Civil Life, the Angel and the Sword and American Brown Ale. And I decided to have the Angel and the Sword. And it is 4.6%, 32 IBUs. Most of Civil Life stuff are Session S. Now, some will draw 4%, some at 4.5%, but I'm gonna, for my purposes, I'm gonna call anything under 5% something you can session easily. So, but most of what they do there is that type of beer, lower ABV stuff. I had this. I can't speak today. I had too much coffee. I've had the Civil Life Angel and the Sword once before at at an Irish pub in Dogtown in St. Louis, which name escapes me. Anyway, I thought I'd sit down there. What you can do here is you set up a tab, and then you can pour as much or as little as you want. I probably got more there than I wanted. I'm just getting used to how things are done here. But you don't have to pour yourself a full glass, or you can pour yourself a full glass. So there you go. I just kind of sat down, and it's a very interesting beer. They don't really give a style, and if I remember correctly, their website says it's one of those, you know, that kind of defies styles. It does a lot of different things. Anyway, it's 4.6, 32 IBUs, so let's have a drink. The aromas are very fruity on the nose, to be honest. There's some dried toasted malt, though, that I'm getting as well. No, I think my nose was deceiving me at first. I was getting some fruity notes, but I really think it's the malt. I think it's the frosted glass is kind of messing me up a little bit, and this is my first beer of the day. But yeah, I'm getting a whole lot of dried toasted malt there on the palate. The hops, 32 IBUs, so there is a decent amount of hoppage in 4.6, so it dries out very nice. It's very earthy, very herbal. It's a very interesting beer. I don't want to run long because I'd like to do several videos. I'm going to run out of memory, or I'm done a beer with. We'll talk later. Okay, and how do you do? I am still trying to figure out how this thing works here. You got this card they give you this card, and you gotta touch it to the thing, and then anyways, they've got two tables. One's the Civil Life, there's the Founders, and they've got other stuff along the wall here, but I thought I'd sit down to Founders because I haven't tried this Azacca IPA, so I just poured myself a little bit. So if I have a complaint about the place right away, it's going to be this. Is that although they have glasses that you go pick up, but they're all chilled. So as a craft beer guy, you know that most of us would rather not have a chilled glass. But if we still, in America, I guess most people still want a chilled glass. So I kind of wish they just had them somewhere clean. You can grab the glass and they're not chilled, but there you go. But it's a small complaint. So far, they've been very friendly in here. I did order some food. I'm going to wait and see how that comes up. But I'm having trouble because the frosted mug is really throwing off the nose because I'm smelling the frost and not the beer. And it's getting the beer colder than it needs to be. I'm guessing they're probably coming out somewhat chilled out of the tap anyway. But so yeah, again, that's the only complaint I have so far is that I wish they didn't frost the glasses. But there you go. I'm having a hard time getting a detailed nose and doing detailed tasting notes because of the frosted. But if I had to venture, I'm just going to say it is an interesting IPA. coming out very dry. Again, I really have trouble with some flavors. I'm definitely getting some citrus. There's a very interesting herbal notes there at the end too. But again, it's just too cold to really get a detailed note. And that's the one thing that's kind of bothering me a little bit. But part of that's because I'm only pouring a small amount. If I was having a full pint, I could let it sit for a few minutes. So there you go. Now that now my frost is gone, my glass is about perfect, but I just poured a little bit of my beer. Anyways, I'm Dr. Beer Whisperer. We'll talk to you later. Well, how do you do, Beckers? How the heck are you? It's Dr. Beer Whisperer. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. So I decided to order something to eat. I hadn't ate for a while, and I'm going to have a few. I wanted to have a little something on my belly, so... Excuse me. It's a very simple bar menu, but I decided to go with twisted taters, a loaded twisted taters. Basically, it's kind of a skin-on, very thin-cut, curly fry, topped with sour cream, bacon, cheddar cheese, and scallions. I added some sriracha on it myself to kick her up on the rocks. It's actually not bad. It is, it is what it is. It's bar food. But it's done pretty well. I had way too much coffee this morning, as you can tell, man. Anyways, so I did a couple samples from the serve your own, but I wanted to sit down and eat, so I thought I'd order a full pint from behind the bar to sit and enjoy. And I haven't taken a drink yet, so I was letting it warm a little bit. What I ordered was, although it says Dale's Pale on the glass, it's actually the Deviant Dale's, and I don't know that I've ever had it on tap. It is a great beer. I've only had it a couple times in cans. I'm pretty sure I haven't had it on tap, so I really want to try it on tap. So there you go. And I'll talk to you more once. Here, let me show you what food I have left. I've been eating on it. I'm Dr. Beer Whisperer. We'll talk to you later. Well, how do you do, buckaroos? So I mentioned in the video, in the previous video, the only thing I have to complain about in this place, and it's a very small one, is the chill glasses. I was just talking to the folks here, and they've got some non-chilled behind the bar that they're more than happy to give you. There are enough folks that really do want the chill glasses. From my experience, most beer geeks really don't want a chill glass, but they have a lot of people request them. So they've got that cooler there with the chill glasses. But you can get a non-chilled if you want. So that's good. So I have no more complaints about the place. No, I love the concept. It's awesome. It's beautiful. You can have as much or as little of something as you want. I did decide to have a full pint of the Deviant Dale's back here. It's very nice. I love this beer. It is. I am noticing it's slightly different on tap. Getting an interesting mix on the nose of citrus, pine, and brown sugar. There are some other things going on. There are some other subtleties, but I'm just going to generalize for the purposes of this video. Flavors are much the same as what I mentioned on the nose, although I'm going to add a whole lot of toasted malt. I am feeling some brown sugar, feeling a lot of varied citrus, some pine. There's some other earthy and herbal notes going on. It's a nice beer. I mean, it's better than nice. It's one of the best out there. Deviant Dale's is just an awesome beer. So there you go. And since I had the opportunity to have it on tap, I need to try it. So I'm going to wrap this video up, or wrap this up here and call it part one of 417 Tap Room. We're going to try to do them all, but I think I'm going to have a couple more here. I'm having such a good time, I don't think I'm going to leave right away. So I'm going to wrap this video up and try to do more.